Hello and welcome to SoBricks. I'm Adam and this is SoBricks. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at the Lego gift with purchase, the Charles Dickens tribute set. This is set number 40410. It has 333 pieces and I paid $40 for this set. I think I used some store credit to get it. This is a retired set. Like I said, it was a gift with purchase. I did not get this at the time. The spend for it was $150, and it was available around this time, kind of for the Black Friday and the VIP weekend in the year 2020. So 5 years ago at this point, which I believe was like the 150th anniversary of Charles Dickens's death. And I've looked at some of their other kind of tribute things similar to this, although not exactly the same. I thought it was particularly fitting because the story that's kind of represented here is a classic Charles Dickens story, and it is a Christmas Carol. So in time for the kind of winter holiday season, I wanted to pick this up and wanted to talk about it. It looks like there are some stickers in here, a couple minifigs. It does have the seal over here, which is not like the limited edition wax seal image, but rather one that has a picture of Charles Dickens in it. And I'm excited to take a look at this. So in this video, I'm going to open this up, I'm going to put this together, and then I'm going to share my thoughts on it. While I build, I will speed the video up, and then I'll slow it back down to review this set. So until then, enjoy. Okay, so while we look at the build for this Lego gift with purchase Charles Dickens tribute set, I just wanted to say thanks for watching, and then remind you, if you like this video, click the thumbs up. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button. Hype the video if that's an option for you. But it does some stuff that helps the channel get discovered and helps more people find it and gets it in front of the people that might like it. So that's really, really helpful. I think only like out of the people that watch, when I look at my analytics, like 90% of people are not subscribed. So if you're one of that big percentage, maybe consider subscribing. It just helps me a lot. It's free to do. Means a lot to me. Helps the channel grow. Helps it get in front of, like I say, the people who might enjoy it. So thank you very much. And then I want to talk about the build. So we start off kind of building this the book kind of base for this. And there's a few stickers in this set. The book base actually comes together really nice. It has a little bit of a drawer function in there, although I was not 100% sure of like why it was or what it was, but that is there. And I think the book ends up looking really well, looking really good. And then we can start building up kind of the internal details. So we'll work on some wall sections for some of the, I believe, the Cratchit household here, which has some nice building. We are using some hinge plates in here, which I did make a mistake about. I had to flip it around. And there's some masonry bricks, and there's some stickers on bricks, and there's some windows and stuff like that. And we kind of build up this wall area. Then we can work on sort of the roof and the chimney and things like that, which they actually really went through with, like putting all these different cheese slopes on the back. We can build out the outside with a bit of a street lamp and a little tree, as well as a path and things like that. And then we can populate the inside with some more stuff there. I had some confusion about colors, and that's it. So now on to my review for this set. Okay, so that is this Lego gift with purchase from some years ago for the Charles Dickens tribute, I think it's called, based on A Christmas Carol, which is part of the reason why I wanted to cover it at this time of the year. This is pretty cool. There's a lot to like here. It's maybe a little bit smaller than I thought it was going to be, but it has some nice presence. It's a good idea for a set, and they've done stuff similar to this at various points, but and I ended up really, really liking this, and I'm pretty pleased with how the end result looks here. So that's really, really great, and we will get into it. And the first thing to look at are the minifigures. Now, I have them kind of posed on here per the official images and stuff like that, but we can kind of talk about them. You don't get, as far as I know, a Charles Dickens figure, but we have characters from the story, A Christmas Carol, rather, which are pretty well known, I should say. So, first one here, maybe the most well known. This is Ebenezer Scrooge, which has become a whole thing. And I don't know how many times, or if at all, really, it's been done in Lego, but very, very cool. We have the umbrella here, nice top hat used for this character. The face printing is pretty nice. It's got these very pronounced kind of mutton chop sideburns there that are graying, which is great. It has the gold kind of spectacles sort of lower on the nose. There's no alternate face. There's no hair piece for this. And then the headpiece is probably the most uh, interesting thing. But then we also have the suit and the coat here. So some layers. I think it's probably like a three-piece suit with a vest, but then has maybe an overcoat over the suit jacket or something like that, if I'm understanding these layers properly. So we get those details. We have the shirt and tie underneath there. No printing on the arms, no printing on the midsection or the legs. Back of the torso, pretty straightforward here. I think the big thing for this one is the glasses are really great on there, and the sideburns or the facial hair. There's like one other little kind of spot of metallic printing kind of right, it's almost like a pin or something right by the tie, which I think is pretty good. So we do get Ebenezer Scrooge there. The next one is Bob Cratchit, who works for Ebenezer Scrooge, and this is okay. I don't know if it's as specific of a character, but still all right. Do get the hairpiece for this one. Pretty normal hairpiece, I would say. Face printing again is pretty standard, pretty middle of the road. No alternate face for this one at all. I really, really like this torso. So it's this kind of patterned vest here with these really nice, it's like a double-breasted vest and has kind of these pinstripes, almost plaid-looking pattern. We got the pockets and different details on there. Of course, we can see the different layers as well. No printing on the arms, no printing on the midsection or the legs. Printing on the back of the torso has the same kind of pattern for the vest there, which is nice. And there's even some extra little details of where there's sort of wear or rips or stitches, or not quite patches or something like that, but just it's a little bit distressed, I would say, which is nice. And then the last one we have is Tiny Tim, which is Bob Cratchit's son, which is and this is kind of, these are some of the main characters there. So we have Tiny Tim here. It is on the shortest legs. Hairpiece is okay. So we have one face here, or they have like a walking stick or a cane or whatever as their accessory. Face here looking kind of sad, looking cold maybe. Also has some like dirt and stuff on their face, as well as some freckles there, but they have some extra markings on there. They look perhaps sort of destitute. I would say, in some sense, like Dickensian is a a word used to describe things that are like from a Dickens novel. And when I think of like a Dickensian orphan or a just a Dickensian child, what it either it's like what Great Expectations, or if it's A Christmas Carol, or if it's any of his other works, there's a certain image that comes up with there, and that might be that they're sort of gaunt and they're sort of dirty and they're sort of unkempt or something like that, and that's conveyed here as well. So I would say this is like a really good representation of a Dickensian child, and it happens to be Tiny Tim. Now this one actually does have an alternate face, and we have one with Tiny Tim looking a bit happier, a bit more hopeful, and does not have those marks on there. So that is good. We have the scarf piece there, then we kind of have a sweater as well, pattern for that, just kind of stripes going through here, nothing on the arms, no printing on the legs. These are the shortest legs. It is Tiny Tim after all, so those don't bend or anything, and there's not anything special about those. And those are the minifigures in this set. So you get 3 minifigures, which is pretty nice, for a gift with purchase. They're also, I don't know if they're exclusive necessarily, but there does seem to me to be like parts here that I haven't seen, whether it's the specifically the minifigure heads that are used in these. And then some of the other pieces might be available in other figures and in other sets, but it is good to get these kind of main characters here. And then the build of the set, besides the characters, I'll kind of move them off of here, is this really interesting kind of display that is a book. It's kind of highlighting the spine of the book a bit here. And then on top of that, we have this kind of mini diorama type of vignette kind of display here, which I think is really nice. So you start by building the book itself. And there are stickers in this set. Sticker sheet is over here. Actually, a fair amount of stickers. A lot of them are used on the spine here. So A Christmas Carol right there, that is a sticker. Same with the author's name there. These are stickers here. Those are all the same, used for some of the binding or the little details there. There's a sticker back here for a picture on the wall, and then there's some kind of like crumbling brick stuff that those are actually also the same, and they are on the inside of those pieces and on the outside of those pieces. So use 4 stickers there. I probably, the ones on the outside probably don't need to be there really. Maybe the ones on the inside don't need to be there either, but they do convey sort of a this house may be in disarray or disrepair or something like that. The build for the base is pretty straightforward. We have some just stacks of plates built up here, and we do build a little bit of internal stuff because this actually becomes a little bit of a drawer here. So if we pull out the kind of middle of the spine, between these kind of pieces here, the ones with the title and the author name there, that pulls out this little drawer. It slides in there really nice. So it's not just empty space in there. They do use the space, and we have some like tiles and different stuff inside to kind of allow that to slide easily in and out. You can see some of the odd colors that they use inside there because they're not going to be seen ultimately. So we do that. And then we use these really nice grooved brick pieces with all of the grooves going the same way, kind of the horizontal way, and we just stack those up all the way around, which I think like from the side like this looks really good. It doesn't look as good from this side just because the side of the bricks here, the shorter side of the bricks don't have that, but it still is okay. And over the other side, I think this looks good. It feels good. It's satisfying. And it does look like stacks of pages. I think the scale of all of this, from like the back cover to the spine to the front cover here, and the pages, is scaled really nicely together. So this works really well. And I'm realizing I forgot some stickers. We have 4 stickers here on the floor for some wood there as well. And those are all the same. So some repetitious stickers in here, like 4 of these ones, 4 of these ones, 4 of these ones, which, if you're going to put 4 of the same pieces in the same stickers in a set, maybe that would be better off being prints in my mind. I think as a like collector item, display model, I think, yeah, I would love if all of this was printed, but alas, it is not. So we build up the book. The thing about the drawer is I'm not entirely sure what is to be put in there. I suppose it could be anything anybody wants. It's not, big enough to fit minifigures in there. Maybe you could get one like lying down, but I think with the hairpiece and with the scarf in this case, it's not going to work. So you can't really, maybe if you took apart minifigures and just had the pieces in there, it would work. But otherwise, I'm not sure if there's like a specific call out or anything in the instructions or on the box that seems to indicate what this is for. So it's kind of just a little hidden feature. It maybe could have been utilized a little bit better in this case. But the build then for the rest of the book is very straightforward. We start laying the groundwork for for the cover, and we kind of lay down some plates and some tiles throughout here, and then we build up this kind of, I believe, the Cratchit home here, which is all right. So on the outside, we have some nice stuff, a very cool like street lamp here, super simple build using a clear minifigure head. Got a little bit of a gate, or the kind of wrought iron kind of decorative sort of fencing here with some snow kind of piling up on it. We have maybe a small evergreen type or winter holiday Christmas type tree there as well. Kind of a little bit of a path here. These are printed wood, tiles. We also have the lantern here as well. And then we build kind of the inside and the walls of the structure. So there is some room over here. It does split this up nicely, kind of into like thirds almost. There's like a third of it that's kind of outside, but then it does angle back and we get a little bit more. We do have places we could put any of the characters, all of the characters. It would be a little bit cramped if all of them were over here, but that is quite nice. And then the wall is done well. It's in a nice shape. So we're using some hinge pieces, hinge plates, and stuff kind of throughout there. And I think they blend together well. And then we kind of populate this with a little bit of stuff, not a ton. We have several kind of window pieces here with the sort of barred windows there. I like how this wall was done. Maybe we have some snow piling up here. There's a mix of different color masonry bricks as well as just like regular bricks throughout here, as well as the ones then that have kind of the sticker on them. I was actually really surprised to see this from this side. It actually presents pretty well from this side. I was saying the pages don't look as good from this side, but if the characters or a character was out here and this was the side that was being viewed, I actually don't think this is too bad. And one of the main reasons is, like, I think the color blocking here is really strong for the wall. We still do have details here. It's not like too big, and we could still like see something outside there. So we still have some foreground and background. And they really went through the the piece usages and whatever else to like build up the chimney, as well as do the roof section here, which I think is really nice. So it's not, I don't know, it's like a thatched roof, not really, but it's like maybe stone, or it's like shingles, but different colors, and maybe have some snow going on at different points. So we're using a bunch of these different cheese slopes or cheese wedges there, which I think are really nice. Of course, we have snow kind of up top as well. So this actually feels like, looking at it from the front, which is maybe the more obvious angle, that's all kind of lost. And there's real pieces being used there. And the designer, planned out which colors are going to be and stuff like that. So that kind of leads me to be a little bit more, it makes the back side of this a little bit more visually interesting, which is really, really nice. And then the inside, we do populate it a little bit here. So we have a bit of a fireplace with some candles, a wreath in there. The fireplace is pretty basic, but pretty good. I like what they use, kind of these curly Q architectural pieces for the mantle. You can see just the small flame in there as well. And then we have the sticker, which is used on the back, which is the kind of that painting or a picture of some kind hanging on the wall. And I actually was not sure what it was, and I'm still like not seeing it super well. So it's got like a frame. It looks like there's a house and a barn, and yeah, it's just sort of like a pastoral kind of landscape with some houses and a barn or something like that. I don't think there's anything, crazy specific on there. But maybe there's some reference in there that I'm not getting. So that's in the back. We also put a little bit of like a tree here. It feels very much like a Charlie Brown kind of, well, I think this is supposed to be kind of a Christmas tree, but it is pretty thin and pretty, it's not like very full, I should say. So it's lacking a little bit there. And then, yeah, we do use those stickers on these 2x4s to give a little bit of more texture to the floor level there, which is all right. I'm sure I could have like angled these around or like rotated these, 180 degrees to kind of make that a little more varied in there. A couple jumpers here to pose the characters. So I'll kind of get this back to how I had it posed at the beginning and similar to maybe what it is on the cover of the instructions here, which I thought looked kind of nice. So we'll kind of get this together. One of the things we'll notice is that, this obviously is not a complete wall, not a complete building or anything like that. And also where like this path is and whatever else, it's not a door there, it is a window. And perhaps this is just Scrooge kind of looking through the window to see how the Cratchits or Bob Cratchit and Tiny Tim are like dealing with whatever their issues are at this time, or maybe this is different parts of the story. It's been a while. I'm not intimately familiar with A Christmas Carol, but it's so in terms of like the Dickens writing, but it's been adapted so many times and it's influenced so many things that I know a little bit about it. There is no representation of like the various ghosts, the spirits that sort of visit Ebenezer Scrooge to maybe convince him to change his ways a little bit, especially in regards to some of the other characters in here. But I don't know how they would have represented those in minifigure format. I'm sure they could have done it. Would have been great to get them. Maybe they've done that at other points for other times when there's been Christmas Carol type things, although I'm not 100% positive there has been very much. So we don't get like the spirits or stuff like that, but what is here is pretty good. That's kind of everything here. So you build a little bit of a book, which has kind of a little bit of a drawer in here, which is nice. And I think the book overall looks pretty good. And then we get this small sort of scene, this small sort of vignette. There could be play being had here, but it is like a very nice display thing as well. And it does have favorable viewing angles, I would say, overall, which is really nice. And it's small, but it is a good tribute, and it does represent sort of some of the stuff that's going on in this story in a convincing and compelling kind of way here, which I really, really like. In terms of building techniques, there's not anything too crazy. It's pretty straightforward. I thought the build was enjoyable and good, and overall just a positive experience for me. So I like this, and I think the quality of the minifigures is pretty good as well, considering that it's like a pretty small set, but get 3 minifigures in there is nice. And like I say, there might be some exclusive pieces or different things that make this even better in terms of the minifigure kind of inclusions. I'll show the extra pieces because you do get some. And it's all your 1x1s, just studs, your tiles, a couple flower studs in there used for the wreath and the base of the candles, your 1x1s, the flame piece, some of the cheese slopes that are used like on the roof area there, all of your tiny pieces. And this set is 333 pieces, 3 minifigures, and I paid $40 for it. So, this here for $40, it doesn't feel like $40 worth of Lego. Frankly, even if I was to say like these are $5 minifigures each, that's just not what it's not really what I see as in terms of like plastic here. But this is retired. It is a gift with purchase set. I believe it was a gift with purchase for a threshold of $150, and I believe it is from 2020. So it's been some time since this has been around. I bought this in 2025 when it was new, still in the box, sealed. And, with 300 pieces, the Lego group might already put their kind of arbitrary price that they do for gift with purchases at around that $20, $25, $30 mark. So if you're doing 10 cents per piece or whatever, obviously not all these pieces are that special or big or anything like that. I mean, in terms of exclusive pieces in here, you're really looking at the minifigures and then the sticker sheet. And then I think this could all be recreated probably for a fair bit less than what I paid. So in terms of like the book and stuff, maybe I don't know how much it would cost to just buy one of these sticker sheets or even like replica stickers for something like this. But that is maybe something to consider if you really, really like this. And so I could see this being having a $30 thing, having a $150 spend, people getting them, but they've been kind of around. They haven't been out. They were never on these shelves, whatever. All of that stuff taken into account. I did pay $40 for this. I believe I used some store credit from a store that I sometimes buy Lego from. And so that also I think is important to consider in terms of the value I had here. Like I already had the credit. Certainly I could have used that credit to go further and get more. But I did want this, and I wanted to cover this for this winter holiday season. And I think this is really good. I'm pretty happy with it. It seems like on Bricklink and eBay and some of the other major retailers where they might be aftermarket Lego sales, this is probably being able to be purchased for around that $30-$35 mark, plus shipping. I didn't have to have this shipped or anything to me, so that is kind of nice. And yeah, I liked this a lot more than I thought I was going to. I think it would have been, if these were prints, it would just feel that much more premium and like that much more interesting, and would have been like a better kind of tribute, I think, and just would have been a lot more solid of a set. But I'm also understanding that the Lego group does not do all prints for their stuff. And while I don't know if these, if they were printed, even though there's 4 of them in this set, maybe that wouldn't be used anywhere. I have to think that these like 2x4s, tiles with the wood on there, those easily could have been printed, and I'm sure they could get other uses out of those. The bricks back here, I don't even know if we need those or need those stickers or printed, but that's another thing where they could have done. And because the stickers are the same on both sides of the brick, and they're the same between the 2 of them, that's another piece that they just had to make one piece. It's used a couple times in here, and it wouldn't really necessarily like clog up their inventory and their library with unnecessary things necessarily. So I would have loved to see that, but it's not uncommon to see stickers. And frankly, I don't really mind stickers ultimately, but if we're talking about ways to like improve these, make these better value and different stuff like that for like a display oriented kind of thing like this, that would have been that extra step, which would have been really, really cool. And I've been a little bit spoiled with other, alternate, other brick manufacturers, brick built toys and collectibles lately. If you go and check out one of my like community posts, I posted a picture of some of the stuff that I've been building from other manufacturers, and like they do, for example, like all prints and stuff like that. And so it's just a different kind of thing. But this is still really, really nice. I'm still very, very pleased with this. Happy to have looked at this and picked this up and been able to share this with anybody out there interested. So I think that's great. I like it. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up and give it a like. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date on all the Lego videos I'll be doing here in the future, including more gift with purchases, more kind of winter holiday themed sets, more retired sets, new sets, used sets, big sets, small sets, sets from other brick built toy and collectible brands, and tons of other stuff. Also, if you like this video and you want to help the channel grow, like subscribing and liking is great. There's a new feature about hyping videos. So if it's free to do that and you like something and you want to hype it, that really, really helps creators with not very many subscribers, and helps get their videos in front of, other people that might be interested in them. So that's a great thing too. If you have that option, if you see that option to hype the video, or any of my videos, that's like very, very appreciated and really, really nice. So maybe consider doing that. And I think it's free. So I hope so. So that would be awesome. If you want to support the channel in other ways, you can give money to the channel if you would like. On YouTube, there's membership supers and thanks. There's a Patreon. It's linked in the video description, linked on my channel page. There is affiliate links in the description generally, not to buy this set probably because it is a retired gift with purchase set, but to buy other brick build toy and collectible sets, as well as like other products that I use and like. There's also merchandise, which I am wearing some of it right now. I wear it a lot. I really like the merch. You can go to tpublic.com, search for SoBricks. There's a link in the description, and you can buy some cool t-shirts and mugs and shorts and crew necks and magnets and stickers and stuff like that. I've been really having a lot of fun designing them. I think it looks pretty cool, and it doesn't like, I don't know. There's different stuff on there. So maybe consider checking out the merch. That's another great way to support the channel. Obviously, affiliate links, every little bit helps. Donations, memberships, all of that good stuff. It all helps support the channel, which is like greatly appreciated. So thank you very much. And with all that said, until next time, thanks. Bye.